In Kardboard Kings, your goal is to run a TCG store. Your character, Harry, has inherited his father's shop and wishes to continue on running it, despite not really knowing anything about the TCG, called Warlock. Turns out, however, that running the store is simpler than one would imagine, and he manages to wing it just fine while learning the game. Despite learning, however, Harry never ends up playing the game, which means you, as a player, never end up playing it either. This is important. In Kardboard Kings, you never play the virtual card game, you just take care of the shop. So, how does one actually run the store? This is the main screen you'll be seeing during your time with Kardboard Kings, and your gameplay consists of clicking around it. Every day, customers will come in during business hours to buy cards. Your main job is to always keep cards for sale on your displays, so that you always have a steady source of income. But how do you get the cards? And how do you generate income from them? Well, this is where the second most seen screen in the game comes into play. On the computer, you can see up to 3 stores every day, from which you can buy individual cards or booster packs, which all come with 4 cards each. Once you get said cards, you can individually sell them in your store. You can't set your own custom price for the cards, and the base price will, at first, be likely just a tiny profit over the price you bought them for. But there is a reason why it's set at first. As you play through the game, random things happen in the TCG scene that influence the price of the cards you sell. For example, a reprint of a card set might happen, which tanks the card's value. A certain pro player, on the other hand, might give an interview saying what their favorite card set is, and end up causing a price hike. And these are just 2 examples. Each card has aspects such as set, color, type, and all of these characteristics can be catalysts to a price change. Said price fluctuations are told to you with usually a couple of days in advance, giving you time to prepare by buying all cards you can find in a specific set, or rushing to sell your cards that are about to have their prices plummeted. It's a simple system, a theme you're gonna see in this game, but man does it succeed in making you feel good when you successfully play the market changes to your advantage. The game even has a little calendar that helpfully keeps track of all upcoming events that will cause price fluctuation. The game also has a really cool progression system in terms of the actual Warlock card sets. Every 2 or 3 weeks a new set is released. Such occasions are pretty big deals in the TCG world, and that aspect is absolutely reflected in Kardboard Kings. Different sets are mostly designed by different artists, and it's always awesome to see the different art styles. My favorite has got to be the first unlockable set called Dark Moon. These are the cards that are parts of the set. The strength of this game is definitely in this core gameplay loop, but there are other minor aspects to the store. You have, for example, a card album in which you can place one of each card in the game. If you want to be extra thorough, you can put foil versions of the cards in the album. Every time you complete a set in your album, you unlock new decorations for the shop. And yeah, you can decorate your shop. Don't get too excited though, as it's again a very simple system. You can change the floors, walls, rugs, and curtains, and place small and big decorations in their respective predetermined slots. So unfortunately, you can't really rearrange the card display locations or change the layout of the shop. You can only influence the details surrounding it. Aside from completing your album, you can also get these decorations by buying them on the 4th shop on the computer, or by completing weekly missions. And speaking of missions, there is one more really important part of the shop: requests. In the shop you have a phone that gives you specific requests for cards. Some are easy, so like getting a card in a specific set, while others are quite complicated, like getting a specific set, type, and attack power. You gotta be careful with what you turn in too. If you give a damaged card, for example, you may complete the request, but you lose store reputation. Similarly, go above and beyond and you get extra reputation, and perhaps even something else. But what exactly does losing or gaining reputation do for you? Well, you have multiple reputation levels. As you increase them, you get access to new features such as being able to host your own tournaments, as well as extra requests and bigger chance for extra customers via happy hours, which are basically a randomly occurring event that brings an extra influx of customers into your store. Needless to say, you want to keep your reputation at max level as much as possible. The way you do that varies quite a bit. There are stickers, for example, that you can put on your cards for sale that may affect things such as their price and, of course, your reputation. And there are the aforementioned requests. But the main two ways to gain reputation are via clearance sales, which have you selling up to 30 of your cheapest cards at a fixed price of $1, and via regulars. As you play through the game, you get regular customers in your store, indicated by their unique design, portraits, and heart level. Every time they show up, they have a request for you, which might range from things like identifying the name of a damaged card or trading cards. The problem here is that this is a very bare-bones system. Basically, if you succeed the request, you gain reputation, and if you fail, you lose reputation. This leads to awful situations where a regular will try to sell you an extremely expensive card for twice its market value, and if you say no, you lose a heart with them and you lose store reputation. Furthermore, the whole heart system feels underutilized. This could have led up to a nice friendship type system like in Stardew Valley, but instead, all you get is an inconsequential and underdeveloped storyline for each character. It usually just resolves itself rather quickly. Sometimes you won't even know that the storyline is resolved until you notice that the characters are just repeating their last dialogue every time they visit. I wish I could say this is limited to regular storylines, but alas, it's not. The main questline until the credits played felt very rushed and underdeveloped. The foundation for something really cool is there, as you have the mystery of the legendary cards, a potentially evil corporation behind the card game, but none of it really goes anywhere, unfortunately. Maybe when you get all the legendary cards something happens, but after 10 hours and the credits roll, I think I'm done. In regards to the other aspects, the graphics are really nice, especially like I mentioned the card designs, which are a major highlight of the game. The soundtrack is okay, nothing remarkable, but doesn't get in the way of the enjoyment of the game. On the technical side, I ran into no issues whatsoever. All in all, Kardboard Kings is a game with a solid core gameplay loop, for those that enjoy it, but that's it. If you're entering this game for anything aside from running a card shop and looking at prissy card designs and collecting cards, then chances are, if you're anything like me, you will end up feeling disappointed. Still, thanks to this core gameplay loop, I did have a good time with the game, even if the story and writing were disappointing to say the least. Anyway, if you do end up picking the game up, or if you have any TCG stories yourself, do share in the comments, as I would love to read them. And if this review was useful, remember to like, subscribe, as it really helps the growth of the channel. Regardless, I'll catch you on the next one. Bye!